CQRS has a reputation. People hear it and think event sourcing, separate read and write databases, a message bus, a diagram with 12 boxes. You need almost none of that. At its core, CQRS is one idea. Separate the things that change data from the things that just read it. In Trellis, a command is a write, a query is a read. Each one is a small record. Each gets exactly one handler, and a mediator dispatches them. The type name is the use case. Let me show you how little ceremony it really takes. Here's a command. It's a record. Its properties are the inputs to one write, and they're value objects, not loose strings, so the command can't even be constructed in an invalid shape. It implements ICommand of Result of project. This command, when handled, produces a project or a typed failure, and it declares the permission it requires right here on the type. Create a project, which the pipeline checks before the handler ever runs. The whole use case, its inputs, its result, and its authorization is one small, readable record. And here's a query. Same shape, different job. It just asks for a project by ID. Notice the handler lives right next to the query in the same file. So a use case is one thing you open and read top to bottom. And the body is pure railway-oriented code. Find the project and turn an absence into a typed not found result. No branching, no try-catch, no mapping ceremony. A read is a fetch and a projection, and that's the whole handler. So how does a command reach its handler? Through the mediator. The controller depends on one interface, iSender, and it sends a message. It doesn't know which handler runs or where it lives. It just sends a create project command and maps the result to an HTTP response. And here's the part that kills the ceremony. There's no handler registration to maintain and no reflection at startup. Mediator's source generator connects every message to its handler at compile time. So a missing handler is a build error, not a 3 a.m. surprise. So why split them at all? The real difference is state. A command mutates state, so it runs inside a transaction that commits only on success, and it can raise domain events. A query changes nothing, so there's no transaction to manage, and it's free to use a leaner, read-shaped model that skips the whole domain. And notice what is not different. Both commands and queries flow through the same pipeline, so both are authorized and validated either way. The split is about state, not security. Each side carries only the machinery it needs. Writes get transactional safety, reads get speed. That's CQRS without the ceremony. That's the whole pattern. A command for every write, a query for every read, one small handler each, and a mediator that wires them up at compile time. No event store, no second database, no bus, just a clean split that keeps each use case small and honest. Next time, we follow a command into the mediator and watch the pipeline behaviors that run around it, validation, authorization, logging, and more, in their canonical order. Subscribe, and I'll see you there.